A hero, a black father, let's put him a full mask, shields his 16-year-old daughter from bullets. This was during the Texas mass shooting. Geoffrey Keaton and his daughter were at the mall. You see this picture, they're being escorted to safety during the shooting, but something had already happened. A black father reacted quickly to protect his 16-year-old daughter when a gunman opened fire at the crowded mall in Allen, Texas. This was on Saturday. Geoffrey Keaton and his daughter were having lunch at Fatburger inside the Allen Premium Outlets when they heard gunshots and said he immediately knew what was happening, the father. He said, and I quote, "I immediately knew," Keaton told the New York Times. "I got my baby girl under the counter to shield her. And then they got louder, like he was right there." He said that the restaurant's manager allowed customers to hide in the back, and they were able to exit through a rear door to get to their cars. You could see bodies of people he had shot on the sidewalk, Keaton said during the interview. M. Garcia, 33, was identified by authorities as the gunman that killed 8 people and wounded 7 before being killed by an officer already at the mall for an unrelated call. The victims' ages reportedly ranged from 5 to 61. Garcia used an AR-15 style weapon during the attack and reportedly received firearms training as a security guard. According to CNN, Garcia worked as a security officer from 2016 to 2020 for 3 separate companies before being commissioned as a security guard. He reportedly received level 2 and level 3 training required by all commissioned security officers in the state of Texas. It included firearms training and the demonstration of firearm proficiency, according to Vice President of Ranger Guard Jonah Nathan. Garcia also reportedly completed a separate firearm proficiency training course that required 6 hours of continued training. In addition to his extensive firearm training, authorities also are investigating if Garcia was motivated by right-wing extremism. He was reportedly found to have an insignia on his clothing that read RWDS. The authorities believe it means right-wing death squad. Let's talk about some nuances here. Obviously, when tragedy happens, heroes abound. Let me say that again. When tragedy happens, heroes abound. This is a hero father who threw himself in front, on top of, as a shield, as a barrier to his 16-year-old baby girl. That's a hero, right? You have individuals in DC, they want you to believe they're heroes. They want you to believe they're leaders. They want you to think they actually have backbone and are willing to stand up to the status quo, willing to stand up to power, willing to stand up to naysayers, willing to stand up to money. But it's all a facade. It's all fake. They stand up to nobody. Republicans won't even have the conversation of common sense gun reform. Democrats will have the conversation every time a child gets killed. No legislation happens. The vast majority of Americans agree universal background checks should be a norm. Vast majority of Americans, Democrats, Republicans, gun owners, non-gun owners, still no legislation. The vast majority of Americans are for red flag laws, for mental health diagnosis. Still no legislation. Because one entity doesn't want it. Those that make the damn guns. That's the only entity. The majority of NRA members are okay with red flag laws. Nothing. Because the NRA doesn't work for you. I'm talking to the members of the NRA. They work for the gun manufacturers, and that's it. That's who they're accountable to. The United States of America, in a way, works for the gun manufacturers by not allowing everyday Americans to actually sue the gun manufacturer. You see, that's a tort law immunity they have in the marketplace. It's a federal law that only applies to gun manufacturers. So the natural connection in the marketplace, the natural connection and correction in the marketplace when it comes to manufacturer and consumer is your ability to take them to court. It's called tort law doctrine. Without tort law doctrine, you cannot force a company to be its best self without regulation. So you have a company massively unregulated and with immunity. Doesn't it sound like they're treating gun manufacturers like they treat the police? Massive responsibility and immunity at the same time. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Yeah, and they've trained the rest of us. You mentioned, Dr. Richey, the Republicans and the Democrats, spot on, but they've trained the rest of us to just be prey. We don't get apparently angry enough to break the rules like those January 6ers did when a man who's orange in what appears to be a lace front told them just some dumb lie.
Right.
They got angry and stormed the Capitol over that dumb lie. We're watching kids die and a hero father who did not have his own automatic weapon. So he was ready to die, is really what it was.
That's right.
And it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and there you have it. We have a brother who was willing to die in order to save his child, and we have politicians unwilling to be criticized in order to save children in this country.